another Dollar Talks. Today I want to talk about a game called Planescape Torment. The game that came out in 1999, not the new one that came out called Tides of Numenera. I'd like to talk about that some other time. But today I want to talk about the one made by Interplay. This game, I know a lot of people that played it, but not many people beat it. And I don't know if it's maybe because the first chapter kind of drug out a little bit, but the game had a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of really cool things that I hadn't seen any of the games do at the time. The story was really cool. You actually played an immortal on this game, a man that could die, but every time you die, you would just lose some of your memories, which is really awesome. There was permadeath in some places on this game, so you weren't completely invincible. There were places you could actually die, but they were few and far between. For the most part, when you died, you'd wake up and your friends would be there, and you just lost a little bit of yourself. And it actually keeps track of how many times you die in this game, actually, which I thought was pretty cool. And it affects the ending. When you get to the end, how many enemies are actually going to be there, which is really cool. Anyway, you start off this game, you're playing as this guy called the Nameless One. He's pretty scarred up. He looks pretty bad. You can tell you've died a lot. I mean, you look like a forest fire that somebody put up with a fucking ice pick. You look pretty bad. And anyway, you wake up and you're in this place called the Mortuary. And you wake up on this crypt table and there's zombies everywhere. And as you get up, you can remember nothing. You don't know how you got there. You don't know how any of this happened. And this floating skull comes to you and starts talking to you. And it's a trip. He says some of the craziest shit. He says stuff like this.
We should get some female zombies to join this party, right, Chief?
As long as you keep them in your party. But anyway, he kind of acts as an advisor. And for the most part, you could trust him, or at least you think, right? Anyway, and he reads on your back. You have a tattoo. And on your back, it's a huge list of things, apparently, that you have left yourself when you've died before. So he reads it off to you, and it tells you to seek your journal and a man named Farad. So as you read that, and then he tells you that you need to escape and to not harm any of the zombies there for obvious reasons, because he says some things. And you make your way out to this place, and when you leave, you enter this place called the Hive. And it's in this city called Sigil. And this town is run by this woman called the Lady of Pain. And she's a pretty tough customer. And normally you won't run into her unless you're actually evil. And in that case, she will actually come and put the hammer down on you. Which is actually a pretty cool little side thing. If you happen to choose to be evil and kill people, she will imprison you. And it's a pretty cool little side thing you get. You find a really powerful weapon there. But you have to be evil to do it. And it's pretty cool. But anyway, as you get out there, you go around, you meet this man called Dakon. He looks like he's a Githyanki. And you may have heard of him if you played like Baldur's Gate 2 or something, but this is the first time I've ever heard of him. And he joins you, and he has a real weird way of talking, some of the things he says, and he has a blade that adapts to him, which I thought was pretty sweet. But anyway, he joins you. And you go, and you find this tavern, and you go in and you talk to the patrons, and you happen to notice in the center of this tavern there's a man that's on fire, and he's spinning around and burning. And as you talk to people there, it come to find out that he was a powerful mage that was in prison there when these other mages had to stop him from burning the whole city down. Apparently he went mad. He was a pyromaniac. And they trapped him in the elemental plane of fire. And he's trapped there now, and he can't talk to you. But he's actually a playable character, and you get to come back later, and you can actually free him, and he'll join you, which is pretty awesome. So the cast of characters on here is really great, really colorful. There's not a lot of characters, but they're really awesome. And anyway, after you leave there, you go and you find Farad. He happens to live under this place called Ragpicker Square, which is a bunch of trash, a mountain of trash above this place. He lives down in there. And when you go down there, of course, he wants you to find something for him, just like all good quest givers. You know, you got to scratch their back first before they'll help you. So you go down, and he tells you to go to this place called the Drowned Nations, where you have to go and retrieve a bronze orb for him. You don't know what it does, but he tells you to retrieve it because he needs it. Okay, so you go do it. You go down, and you meet these people in this Drowned Nation, these zombies, and you come to find out that they are sentient. They're able to speak, and they actually have a city down there. They actually live and are thriving down in this place. And you can either side with them, or there's this group of rats, actually, and they have a hive mind, and they're called the Minias one, and you can side with these rats too if you want to do it this way. So it kind of gives you choices here. But then after you decide which one you want to help, you can go get the bronze sphere, and you bring it back to Farad, and he tells you that you actually died and that his daughter Anna found you in this place called the Alley of Lingering Sighs. And as you get there, you meet Anna. She's a tiefling. She's actually half demon, and she joins your party and offers to take you back to where you actually died. So then you and Mort and the Githyanki actually leave, and you go back and you go to the place where you died. And as you leave, you notice that Farad, he gets fucked off by these shadows that just come in a cutscene and kill him. So, I mean, that's kind of bringing up some questions. Why are these shadows following you around now? But after you get past that, you go to the Alley of Lingering Sighs, and you come to find out that the path is blocked, and you can't get through. And there's this Dabbis. There's these demon men that go and they repair things in the city. They're called the Dabbis. They work for the Lady of Pain. And anyway, as you get to noticing, the path is blocked, and you're able to speak to one of these buildings. And as you come to find out, this building is actually alive, and it's trying to get birth by separating itself. And these Dabbis are coming back, these workers are coming back and repairing the damages so this building can't procreate. Which blew my mind. I couldn't believe that this building is actually sentient and trying to have a baby. And these little demon guys are stopping it. So anyway, you go around and you can either talk to them and convince them to quit, or you could just outright fucking kill them, which could anger, the Lady of Pain, the one that controls the city. So after you do that, and the sentient alley divides itself, you're able to go through. Actually, it has this baby. After you get to the alley, some asshole comes and he steals Mort from you. Some asshole named Lothar. He's a guy that apparently collects skulls. And you go down there, and apparently he wants to trade. He wants to trade another valuable skull for your skull, your buddy Mort. He tells you about someone called the Night Hag. And apparently she's the one that took your mortality away and made you the way you are today. So, and you come to find out that the only way to get to her is to have a piece of her to get there. So you have to find her daughter, which is the closest way you can find a piece of her, and get her blood and perform a ritual in order to get to this place to find the Night Hag. Her name is Ravel. And after you confront Ravel, the Night Hag, in her plain of brambles and thorns, she tells you that the ritual that she performed to make you immortal was flawed, and that whenever you die, that you lose your memories, and that your mortality that she separated from you is actually still alive and is in a different place, that she doesn't know where. But she knows someone that does know where, and happens to be a fallen angel in this prison plane called Cursed. His name's Trios, and you have to go there and ask him how you can find your mortality. So you travel to this place, you go through all this, you free him, you meet this living suit of armor named Valor. He looks pretty cool. I'll show a picture. See, he looks awesome. And the first time I played through, I didn't even find this guy. He was actually hidden in the corner, which is crazy. I actually ran past him and didn't even know. And so you free Trios, the Archangel, and he tells you that there is a demon you need to find who can tell you how to get to this place called the Fortress of Regrets, where your mortality is actually living now. And so you go and you find this demon, and on the way there you come across this place with a bunch of skulls. It's a pillar of skulls. And they start hollering and screaming for more, which is really crazy when you talk to them. And apparently Farad, the guy you met earlier, his skull is actually in this pillar of skulls, which is a terrible, terrible fucking way to go. But I'll show you the picture. Look at this shit. Isn't that crazy? What a hellish torment that is. And they're screaming, and all these skulls are wanting Mort back in. So you can either choose to put Mort back in and lose him as a character, or keep him and find out some of the things that he lied about. The skulls will actually tell you that he lied about what's on your back. There's actually more. You actually have tattooed on your back that says, "Don't trust the skull." And Mort kind of forgot to let you know that little part, but I forgave him. I got over it, and I actually let him stay in the party. I mean, I'm immortal. What the fuck are they going to do to me? But anyway, after we find out that the demon guy that we came here for, that Trius sent it here for, the Archangel, we find out that he actually knows the way to the Fortress of Regrets. And so we return to him to confront him and find out where it's at. And we found that the prison plane we went to is actually slipped into the plane of chaos. So apparently these places around on this plane can slip according to whether they're lawful or chaotic. And apparently freeing Trios, it causes enough chaos for this plane to slip, which is really crazy. It's a really crazy idea. So Trios, after you confront him, he tells you how to get to the Fortress of Regrets. And it's actually in the same fucking place you started off, in the mortuary, where you woke up. And that's exactly what you were trying to do. You were trying to die and wake up inside the mortuary so you could get to this place to confront your past, to confront your mortality. Anyway, you get and you find the key, which happens to be a scrap of your skin with the word regret written on it. That's the key to get into, to fight your mortality. And when you get there, you go through and you open the portal, you go to the Fortress of Regrets, and you find out here that the amount of shadows that are here is how many times you died during the game. So how many times you died is the amount of enemies that'll be present in this area, which was really cool. I didn't know that the second playthrough I actually figured that out. And after you get there, you find a paranoid incarnation, the one he's been leaving traps for you throughout your journey, and now you find him. He's there. You confront him and make him actually kill him or make him join back with you, so you get your memories back. And then you meet your good incarnation, which was actually your original self, who started this whole fucking mess between their immortality and went to Ravel, the Night Hag, and had all this happen. And you can make him rejoin back with you and you gain your memories back, and you get some experience and stuff. And at this point, depending whether or not you're good or evil, you either have to fight Valor or you have to fight Ignis. I was evil the first playthrough, so I had to fight Valor, and the second time, of course, I had to fight Ignis. And they'll have all the stuff you taught them and all the equipment you put on them, which this game is not too bad. There's specialized equipment that only they can use, so it's not that big of a deal. They're not too bad. And anyway, so after you beat them, you beat your ally, you go and you fight your mortality, which is now the transcendent one, and it looks like this. Yeah. So, and it's decided that it doesn't want to merge back with you, that it's quite happy staying where the fuck it's at. So, in order to regain your mortality, you have to beat this creature. And after you beat it, it returns inside of you. You merge with it, and the screen goes black. And when you wake up, you are on a hellish plane with the actual blood war going on, and you actually see demons fighting. And you just stand up, pick up your mace, and walk towards the battle to fight, I guess, for eternity. It was a really cool story. I never played a game quite like this, and at the time, it was really awesome. And I wish more people would actually play through it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought the cast of characters was really cool. You get a succubus named Anna too. She joins you before all this. I forgot about her. A lot of really cool things happen on here. There's these robots from this robot plane called the Modrons. And you actually find one that'll join you too. His name is Nordum. Picture of him. And there's a pretty colorful crew of guys you get. It's pretty awesome. And the story wasn't too bad either. If you ever get a chance, maybe more people would like to get to play this game. And like, subscribe, and hit me up, and we'll talk about more later.